In this video, I'm going to show you a few more basic things that you're going to need to know how to do in the iPad. This one should be a little bit quicker. Okay. First, I'm going to show you how to change the brightness of your screen. Say your battery's dying and you're not close to a charger. Maybe you have 10% left. Up here, the battery indicates how much battery life is left. Say you have 10% battery left and you can't get to a charger. One thing to do to help it last a little bit longer is to lower the brightness of the screen. So I just clicked on settings. It's denoted by this symbol. And there are several things you can do in the settings, but for the brightness, you click on brightness and wallpaper. And then you just slide this bar up and down, like so. Also, like I said, when you first turn your iPad on, you should be automatically connected to the AT&T 3G network, which is shown up here. But also, you may need to connect to Wi-Fi. Things move faster when you're connected to Wi-Fi, or if you don't have signal, you would need to do that in order to use most of the functions of this, like your remote desktop and things of that nature. But to connect to Wi-Fi, you'll click on Settings, where we already are, and then you will click on Wi-Fi, and then you slide the off to on, and it should automatically show you the available networks that you can connect to. If a password's not required, it should automatically connect to that network. It just joined the Mid-Atlantic Air network because it already knows the password. So it remembers passwords of networks that you've already joined in the past. But let's say that you didn't already enter it, but you know the password. You would click on the network. Let's try this one, for example. Well, this one doesn't require a password, so it's not a good example, but basically you'll just click on the network and it should prompt you to enter a password. It's not doing it now because these networks don't require a password, but it says that we're connected to that one. But I'm just going to connect to Mid-Atlantic Air and stay connected to that. And then to disconnect, you just hit off. If you hit on, but say you leave the region where the network is, so say we leave Mid-Atlantic Air, but we're currently connected, it's going to automatically try to keep reconnecting because you have Wi-Fi on. So if you're not trying to connect to Wi-Fi, turn this off because it also kills your battery. So that's a little tip there. One other thing, you don't need to do this often, but if you go to if you go to General, software update, sometimes there will be a little plus there, and that means that you need to update your software. Ideally, if you update your software, you want to be connected to a charger, just because sometimes they take a while, and that's what they recommend. But our software is up to date, as you can see. And also, anytime you update software or an application, it's going to ask you for your Apple ID password. And I will give this to each of you. I'll give you a list of all the passwords that you'll need. But every time you do an update, you'll need your Apple ID password. If you see here this little 2 in the App Store, that means that you have some applications that need to be updated. So if you click on the App Store, there's a little update bar down here. You know, there are different categories for like featured apps and categories and purchases. We're not going to be purchasing anything. The apps that we already have are free. And I'm not going to get into detail searching the App Store because that's not our focus here with these iPads. But if you click on Updates, it will show you what applications of yours need to be updated. So Skype and DocuSign need to be updated. You can click on the free to update one, or you can hit update all to do that. So I'm going to hit update all, and so then it brings up this screen. It shows you what your Apple ID is. Each of you have a Gmail account that I set up for you, and each of you have a password, but basically you just enter the password, and I think I remember it. And you hit OK, and then it automatically goes to the applications that need to be updated and it starts updating them. I guess I put in the wrong password. That's what will happen if you do so. I'll try again. Let's see if it works. Oh, I remember now. For the Apple ID, has to be, it's case sensitive, so the first letter is capital. If you have any issues, remember that. I'll put it in the notes though when I hand out your passwords. And as long as your password's correct, it should start updating. And you can see the little black bar, it indicates how far the download is updated. Also, you probably want to be connected to Wi-Fi when you're updating apps, just so the update can go faster. So you can't really tell, it's really tiny, but there's a little blue bar showing. I'm going to connect to Wi-Fi real quick, just to speed this process up. And it's already, I'm not even touching anything, and it should automatically join MAA. It did. And then up here you'll see the little signal symbol to show that you're connected to a Wi-Fi. I'll go back to these. It still says loading. I guess it's doing one at a time. But you should see that little blue bar. It's updating, and believe it or not, it's going much faster than it would if you were solely connected to the 3G network. Yeah, those are just some basic things that you're going to need to know how to do. But this concludes this portion of the tutorial.